Michele Bachmann is one of the biggest names in American politics today. The Congresswoman represents Minnesota's 6th Congressional District. On today's program, we'll examine the race for the 6th District, we'll take a look at the past election, and preview what's to come. The Congresswoman will also be stopping by to spend some time with us, covering many pressing issues of the day. Stay tuned, Full Spectrum starts now. She is one of the most talked about political figures in the country. Mentioning the name Michele Bachmann is sure to get people talking, whether they are conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. But regardless of personal feelings for the Congresswoman, one thing is certain: she is successful at what she does. Currently, Bachmann is serving her 3rd term in the U.S. House of Representatives, which began with the election of 2006. Despite large Democratic gains in 2006 midterm elections, the people of the 6th District decided at the polls to send Bachmann to Washington. The 2008 election saw yet another major change in Washington, D.C. Barack Obama was elected president over Republican John McCain. Democrats were also able to secure large majorities in both the House and the Senate. This election cycle also saw a major challenge for Bachmann. DFL and independent endorsed candidate Elle Tinklenberg provided her with the closest competition to date. However, the Congresswoman was able to pull out a win by a mere 3 percentage points. Minnesota's 6th District is commonly known as the most conservative district in the state. This is quite fitting for a candidate such as the Congresswoman. When the Tea Party movement broke out across the country, Bachmann was quick to support it. The grassroots conservative movement opposed many Obama administration policies, along with bailouts of large banks which began under the Bush administration. Bachmann quickly became a Tea Party darling. In the House of Representatives, Bachmann founded and chaired the House Tea Party caucus. In 2010 midterm elections, she was poised for major Republican gains, in large part to the newly founded movement. The challenger in 2010 was Minnesota Senator Terrell Clark of St. Cloud. Clark was well known around the area, but facing a 2-term incumbent in what appeared to be a conservative year. This race was the most expensive race in the country, with Bachmann spending over $8 million in the end. The Congresswoman won by 12% margin over Clark. Coming up after the break, we'll look ahead to this year's race for the 6th District.
Never look a howler monkey in the eye. We built the entire library out of recycled bottles. Fried ants are delicious.
We finished a clinic in a rainstorm.
Really? That was a confidence builder. My students actually ended up teaching me. So I learned this dance. I'll show you this dance. Yeah.
In la keg, a la king.
The classroom was more of a class tent. I think managing a sales team is tough. Try working with 5 different villages. My alarm clock was a rooster. Beans for breakfast, beans for lunch, beans for dinner. We ate a lot of beans. I learned a 3rd language.
My seatmate on the bus was a goat.
Always include the village elders. Always. My morning commute was by canoe. After 2 months, I was ready to quit, but after 2 years, I didn't want to leave. I didn't know I had it in me.
Turn 2 years of service into a lifetime of experience.
One of my biggest passions in life is animals. That's why I've worked with Morris Animal Foundation for over 40 years. Morris Animal Foundation is a world leader in helping animals live longer, healthier lives. Like my favorite, dogs, of course. Well, maybe kitty cats are the best. I also like horses. Some of my best friends are apes. Elephants. Elephants are so wonderful. And who wouldn't want to cuddle up with a tiger? Oh, am I kidding? I love them all. The point is, Morris Animal Foundation is giving animals a healthier tomorrow. You can too. Just show your support at morrisanimalfoundation.org. It's all about a healthier tomorrow. And at my age, I'm all about that.
To help cats, dogs, horses, and wildlife live healthier lives, visit morrisanimalfoundation.org, where we are advancing science that will create a healthier tomorrow for animals.
It's from a place of love that I became an activist. It is just a fabulous area, full of life. It's one of the few areas of temperate old-growth forest left on the planet. In the early 90s, it looked like all of the intact forest would be clear-cut logged, and it was very devastating to think of that possibility. So it was quite a pivotal time right then to take action when we did.
1/3 of the massive Great Bear Rainforest will now be protected from all logging. We're talking about an area the size of Switzerland.
Having the Great Bear Rainforest protected now really means a lot to our community. I would say we're part of the environment just like the animals are. The greatest thing that I enjoy is seeing a total stranger respect this area. We're hoping that years down the line, this place will still be looking the same as it does right now.
I have no regrets, none whatsoever. We never compromised our principles, and we can leave this race knowing that we ran it with utmost integrity. We made a very important contribution to this race.
After testing the waters of a presidential run, Michele Bachmann announced her bid for re-election to her 4th term in the U.S. House of Representatives. To this point, 3 potential candidates have announced their intentions to challenge the Congresswoman for the seat. Currently, Ann Nolan, Brian McGoldrick, and Jim Graves have all announced their intentions for the DFL nomination. Ann Nolan appeared on Full Spectrum last month to share her thoughts on the race for the 6th District.
If you look at the 6th District, there's only one incumbent state legislator in the whole 6th District. And he's indicated that he's going to take a break from politics because his 2 sons are very young. And so he's not interested in running that race. If you don't have a current incumbent state legislator, then you might want someone who'd run before. Well, the person who ran before was, of course, Terrell Clark, and she's made a commitment to run in the 8th District, north of here. So if you haven't got someone who's run that race before and you haven't got an incumbent state legislator, then the next best thing would be somebody who's at least run before, even if they haven't won, who at least knows what to expect in a campaign, has some familiarity with the issues, has some familiarity with the district. And I live in St. Cloud, which is the largest metro in the district. So as I started to look at, well, who would you want to run this race, the more I looked at it, the more I thought, maybe I fit.
More recently, hotel owner Jim Graves announced his entry into the race for the 6th congressional seat.
We don't live in the district right this second. We lived here for 48 years, raised a family, went to school here, started a business here, grew a business here, moved to Minneapolis, but we are going to have a residence back in the district.
New district maps were recently announced in Minnesota, which can provide a challenge to 3 potential candidates. As previously mentioned, the 6th District is known for conservatism. The new maps do no favor for liberal hopefuls. If Bachmann is to be beaten, her challenger will need to win the city of St. Cloud, which now stands out as the largest battleground in the newly formed district. The last presidential election offered the toughest challenge to Bachmann. However, this election doesn't appear to have a premier challenger such as Clark in 2008. Americans were held captivated by then-candidate Obama, but the honeymoon does appear to be over, with the president's approval rating consistently hanging in the sub-50% category. Needless to say, anything is possible, but it would come as a bit of surprise to unseat a 3-term congresswoman in a traditionally conservative area. Luckily for us, Jen Austin is with the congresswoman after this short break.